State lawmakers are sounding the alarm about dangers teens face in the workplace. State Rep Lauren McNally, along with Representative Erica White, introduced the Clock Out Kids Act to protect kids from dangerous jobs. Here to talk about the act is Representative McNally. Lauren, tell us about the Clock Out Kids Act. How will this help protect Ohio's kids?
The Clock Out Kids Act will increase penalties for businesses that are in violation of our current Fair Labor Standards Act. It will also encourage our educators to report and empower them to report any suspicion of children who might be being taken advantage of in the workplace. And it will allow our Department of Commerce to hire more enforcement agents and help bolster up their department so that they have the ability to do better when it comes to enforcement.
You say that you've seen a 69% rise in violations at businesses that have minors employed. What do you think is behind the increase? I'm wondering, specifically about those violations, because you and I, a lot of us, when we grew up as teens, we had jobs. I mean, what are they doing wrong in the workplaces that's rising to a higher level that's not good?
Yeah, when we talked to the Department of Commerce, they said that it's really a decrease in the amount of in their department, the decrease in the amount of agents and their ability to investigate and keep a tab on businesses and educate businesses about what the rules are around employing children and employing teenagers. And because we've made so many cuts both at the federal level and at the state level when it comes to the Department of Commerce, specifically around this issue. And so they're really on a reactive basis. And so they only are able to do things when there's a complaint instead of being proactive. And so businesses took advantage of that. And on top of that, the amount of children that have come into the country illegally, we've had more than 250,000 kids over the last couple years come into the country alone, and that human trafficking aspect of it has become a really big problem. And those are the kids that are being put into places. In Ohio alone, we had in the last couple of years headlines of children working in lath mills and meat processing plants, kids that were getting severely injured in places like that. So it's not just, we're not thinking about just the 17-year-old working in the McDonald's down the street. Those aren't the headlines that we're talking about and where we're seeing the rise.
And how important is it for kids and their future to make sure they're not prioritizing work and those long hours, conditions over school and their safety? How does the bill help them with the schoolwork?
Yeah, so we put in here a provision to encourage and empower the educators and the teachers to work with us so that if they do see the kids falling asleep in the classroom, their grades slipping, because they're the ones who ultimately sign off on a work visa, them along with the parents have to sign off on a work visa currently. That's how the rule is written, the law is written. So they can now report up if they suspect that those types of things are slipping.
How much bipartisan support are you expecting, and what's the next step for consideration?
Yeah, this bill is actually a contrast bill to House Bill 50. House Bill 50 is a bill that is rolling back the current child labor laws and allowing children to work at younger ages for longer hours. And that bill is being put forth as a solution to our workforce shortage. And so this bill doesn't currently have any bipartisan support. That bill is a Republican bill with no bipartisan support on the Democrat side. So this is a values decision really at the State House.
A lot to monitor down in Columbus. Like you said when we were talking off camera, you just are wrapping up those budget sessions to see what the House comes up with and any revisions you may propose. Lauren McNally, thank you so much for joining us here at 5.
Thank you.